Before we dive into today's video, I just gotta tell you guys, if you have not seen the Foo Fighters live and you enjoy live music, make sure you go see them live because they are one of the best concerts to see. They are so energetic and just amazing to see. I saw them on Wednesday the 17th of 2024, July 17th, and it was just so good. And the concert was even cut short due to this crazy monsoon thunderstorm, but they played for about an hour and 20 minutes and it was so freaking good. I'll make sure I throw up a couple pictures that I took during the show. I always try to be present during the show and not on my phone, even though if you look around the crowd, there are so many people watching the concert through their phone, which is insane to me. But I also took a little bit of a photo of the rain coming down at Citi Field. It was crazy, but it was so good. See the Foo Fighters live. It's worth every dollar for the tickets, even though they were crazy expensive. They were $200 per ticket for the show that we saw, which was nuts, but it was worth it. So worth it. All right, guys, let's not waste any more time. There are so many books on this weekend's Final Order Cutoff to cover, so let's go ahead and dive into today's video. What is going on, comic book fans? Welcome to your appetizer for this weekend's Final Order Cutoff. I'm going to give you my information that I was able to gather after looking over every single book on this weekend's Final Order Cutoff. I read all the synopsises, looked at all the covers. I tried to pick out what I think will do well on the secondary market, and then I also checked out all the new #1s to try to pick out books that, we cannot pass up because I think the stories are going to be so freaking good. So today's video is your Final Order Cutoff speculation and recommendations video, but there are so many books to cover. We gotta dive right in because my day is absolutely packed and I don't have a ton of time to edit this video, so we need to get started. So let's go ahead and cover my 3 weekly speculation reminders. If you guys are seasoned speculators or you guys have seen this video series before, guys, there are timestamps down in the description below. You guys can skip right ahead to Final Order Cutoff cover lever picks. But if you guys are new to speculation or new to this video series, please hear these 3 weekly speculation reminders. And the first one up is the most important, and that is you guys have to do your own research. I'm going to present some information to you guys today, but what I need you to do is go check out the comic book YouTubers you trust, other comic book websites that you trust, and other comic book apps that you trust. Gather the most information possible so that way you guys can make the best decisions possible for yourself, because remember, you guys are spending your own hard-earned money on these books. It's not my money, it's your money. Now, the second reminder that I have for you guys is that there are delays with comic books, so sometimes the book will show up multiple times on Final Order Cutoff, and that is because its release date got moved for one reason or another. Now, the third and final reminder that I have for you guys is that I record this video on Thursdays, but actually I'm recording it on Friday, but it's still before the Final Order Cutoff deadline, because DC, Marvel, and independent comics have all the way up until 5 p.m. on Friday. Today is Friday, July 19th, so they have until 5 p.m. today to lock in what's actually going to be on this weekend's Final Order Cutoff. And I'm recording this video as of 10:40 a.m. So it's well before the deadline time. So I suggest you check these 2 places before you finalize your orders for this weekend's Final Order Cutoff. And the first place up is the Comic Book Frontier. It is a great Facebook group run by my good friend Al, and he will update his Final Order Cutoff findings all the way up into the order deadline dates, which we'll cover in just a second. And the second place is coverprice.com. They put out a list every single weekend. It's absolutely fantastic, and they are a fantastic website for comic book secondary market data. They do a new comic book day list, they do a FOC list, they do all kinds of lists. They are a fantastic site. So make sure you guys are checking the Comic Book Frontier in coverprice.com before you finalize your orders. All right, guys, those are my speculation reminders. Let's go ahead and cover this weekend's Final Order Cutoff order deadline dates. Alright guys, if you're interested in pre-ordering any of the books that I'm going to show off in today's video, you guys need to get your pre-orders in by July 22nd of 2024. Now, the big reason you want to do this is that some websites will give you a 20% discount off the cover price of these books by ordering by Final Order Cutoff. And if you are going to speculate on a book and you are trying to make money on the secondary market with that book, why not save that 20%, which will make your profits that much bigger. All right, guys, that is this weekend's Final Order Cutoff order deadline dates. Let's go ahead and move over to my Final Order Cutoff cover lever picks. Alright guys, I found 7 covers on this weekend's Final Order cutoff that I think could possibly do well on the secondary market. And the first one up is a really good cover. This is Gotham City Sirens, issue number 2, the cover C, done by Ji Hung Lee. He's doing a whole series of covers for this miniseries. The first one featured Catwoman, this one features Harley Quinn, the next one features Poison Ivy, and the last one features Punchline. They are all gorgeous in my opinion, and I can see this being a sought-after book in the future because it's some amazing artwork in my opinion. The next up is an interesting book. This is Daredevil Woman Without Fear, issue number 2, with the 1:25 ratio variant done by Yasmin Putri. I want to say that's how it's pronounced. Now, the main reason why I put this cover on the list is because I'm not sure how many shops are going to be ordering 25 copies of this book right here. It's an offshoot title of Daredevil featuring Elektra as Daredevil. I don't see this book being heavily ordered. I could be wrong. Do your own research. But if this book is not heavily ordered, I could see this book right here being a ghost. And it is a gorgeous cover featuring Elektra as Daredevil. It's really cool. I could see this book being a ghost in the future. So keep an eye on this book. Do a little research. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Alright guys, next up is Exceptional X-Men, issue number 1, with the 1:25 ratio variant done by Joe L. Jones. Now in the guts of this book are possible 3 first appearances, but we can see those characters on the cover of this book. We're going to cover those characters when we're down covering the books that have something in the guts, but this is the best cover in my opinion for Exceptional X-Men issue number 1, but that's my opinion. You guys let me know what you think down in the comments below. Alright guys, next up is Phoenix issue number 2 with the 1:50 ratio variant done by Derek Chu. I don't love this cover, but a lot of people love Derek Chu, and this is a decent cover, and the fact that it's a 1:50 virgin ratio variant, I think this book could possibly do well on the secondary market. And it's also Phoenix, Jean Grey as the Phoenix. I think a lot of people love that character, and I think there's going to be a good amount of people who are going to like this cover and go after it as well. Now guys, next up is Predator vs. Black Panther issue number 1 with the variant cover done by Scotty Young. It's Scotty Young. You gotta add it to the list. This cover is so good. Now guys, next up is Star Wars issue number 49, the penultimate issue to this current run. Now this is the 1:25 ratio variant done by David Marquez. It features Luke Skywalker, and it is really cool. It is the next to last issue for this current series, and I just think this is super duper cool. Is it gonna do well? Possibly. We're 49 issues into Star Wars. Maybe stores aren't ordering as much, so maybe this 1:25 might be a little bit more rare. I don't know, but I know there is nothing in the guts of this book, so this would just be a pure cover buy. Now the final cover is Red Sonja Empire Damned issue number 5 with the cover A and also the cover E Virgin done by Joshua Middleton. This cover is amazing. Now, I do think the cover E is going to be the better bet, but once that comes unattainable on the secondary market, I can see people picking up the cover A because they can't get the cover E. But this cover by Joshua Middleton is so good. Alright guys, that is the final cover lever pick for this week. We have so many. 28, I believe. 27 facsimiles and second prints to cover. So I'm going to go ahead and move right over to the next section, which are my second prints, facsimiles, and beyond. Alright guys, we have a lot of books to cover, so I'm going to go ahead and dive right in. And the first one up is Transformers issue number 1 with the 40th anniversary edition facsimile. This is really cool. I love this cover so much featuring Optimus Prime. This is very nostalgic for me, but this is the second facsimile. They did one back, I believe, in early 2000s. I'll put the date up on screen right here. So this is not the first facsimile that they've done. This is the second, which is crazy in my opinion that they're doing it again. Alright guys, next up is House of Secrets issue number 92 with the facsimile edition, the facsimile foil edition, and the facsimile blank edition. Now this has the first appearance of Swamp Thing, Alex Olsen, which is pretty cool. There also is a Beetlejuice variant for this because the new Beetlejuice movie is coming out. And I guess DC Comics wanted to do a Beetlejuice version, which is insane to me. But this Beetlejuice variant is done by Kelly Jones. I would avoid this like the plague, but maybe, possibly this could do well in the future. I don't know. I'm just giving you guys the information. Now guys, next up is Amazing Spider-Man issue number 259, the facsimile edition. Now in this is Spider-Man returns to his classic costume from the black costume. But guys, guess what? There's also a 1:25 ratio variant for this facsimile done by Sam Della Rosa. And again, this has Spider-Man returning to his classic costume. Now next up is another facsimile. This is Marvel Superheroes Secret Wars issue number 9 with the facsimile. There is also a foil facsimile But yes, you guys guessed it, there's also a facsimile 1:25 ratio variant done by Phil Noto. Now, I do like this 1:25 more than others that I've seen because he took the original cover and just did his own rendition of it, which I think is really cool, and Phil Noto's art is fantastic. But still, I don't like the fact that there's 1:25 facsimiles. It's just an own personal opinion of mine, but you guys do what you want with the information. I know some of these do sell well on the secondary market. Now we can jump into the second prints, and there are 19 of them. 19, which is bananas. First up is Hello Darkness, issue number 1 with the second print variant done by Miguel Mercado. This is so creepy and scary. I love it. Now guys, next up is Hello Darkness, issue number 1 with the second print blank sketch variant. And after that, we have Amazing Spider-Man Annual issue number 1, the second print variant done by Salvador LaRocca. And after that is Amazing Spider-Man Annual issue number 1, the second print 1:25 virgin ratio variant done by Mike McCone. After that is Kid Venom issue number 1 with the second print variant done by John Tyler Christopher. And after that is Kid Venom issue number 1, the second print virgin 1:25 ratio variant done by Gerardo Sandoval. And after that is Spider-Man Reign Volume 2, issue number 1, the second print variant done by Carrie Andrews. And after that is Spider-Man Reign Volume 2, issue number 1, the second print 1:25 virgin ratio variant done by Lyrics Lee. After that, Star Wars Ahsoka issue number 1, the second print variant done by Ken Lashley. And after that is Star Wars Ahsoka issue number 1, the second print 1:25 virgin ratio variant, the TV variant. This is really good. I like the 1:25 from the first print, but this virgin is really good. After that is Star Wars Inquisitors issue number 1, the second print variant done by Nick Bradshaw. And after that is Star Wars Inquisitors issue number 1, the second print 1:25 virgin ratio variant done by Alex Maleev. After that, The Ultimates issue number 2, second print variant done by Dyke Ruan. I like the fact that they added that black border to it from the white. Really good. After that, Ultimates issue number 2, second print variant 1:25 virgin ratio variant done by Inhuk Lee. And after that, we have Wolverine Deep Cut issue number 1, the second print variant done by Edgar Salazar. And after that is Blood Hunt issue number 4 with the second print variant done by Pepe Larraz. I didn't read issue number 4 yet, and it's already spoiled for me, which sucks. And after that is Department of Truth issue number 23, the second print variant done by Martin Simmons. 3 more, guys. Next up, Sissy issue number 2, second print variant done by Hugo Petrus. And after that is The Left Hand Path one-shot second print variant done by Ken Newtenson. I want to say that's how it's pronounced. And the last one is This Little Piggy issue number 1, the second print variant done by Joe Barcardo. Alright guys, that is everything. There was a lot to go over there. Some of those books did have a little something in the guts, but they are second prints, they are not first prints. But guys, we're going to go ahead and move over right to the next section, which are all the books that had a little something in the guts that are on this weekend's Final Order Cutoff. Alright guys, let's go over the 9 books that I found that might have a little something in the guts. And just a quick reminder, make sure you guys are doing your own research. And guys, first up we have Geiger issue number 5. The solicitation reads, "The final fate of Barney, the two-headed mutant wolf, will be in this issue." Now, final to me reads as almost like a death because it's final fate. Because if he was going to live, it would not be his final fate. So, are we going to get the death of Barney in this issue? I would say it is most likely. Now, next up is Gotham City Sirens issue number 2. And the solicitation in this says, "Introducing the himbo cowboy sensation known as the Nasty Boys." Now, in my previous Final Order Cutoff video, I had the first appearance in issue number 1, but if you read the solicitation, it says introducing. Now, I do not have my hands on issue number 1, so I can confirm if their first appearance or cameo was in that issue, but possibly it could be in issue number 2. So guys, make sure you guys are doing your own research on this issue. Next up is Green Lantern issue number 14. The solicitation here reads, "Witness the rise of the Shadow Lanterns in the backup story." So if we're witnessing that, to me reads as a first appearance of the Shadow Lanterns could be in this issue. Now guys, next up we have Exceptional X-Men issue number 1. Now this series will introduce 3 all-new mutants: the metallic and whip-wielding Bronze, the emotional stirring Axo, and the stealth skilled fighter Melee. Each of these characters are seen on cover A, the Torque variant, the U variant, the Jones 1:25 variant, and Bronze is also on the Baldano variant and also the 1:100 ratio variant. So there are a bunch of their first cover appearances if they are not in the guts of this book. They are definitely on the cover on all those variants. Now guys, next up is Miles Morales Spider-Man Annual Issue number 1. The solicitation here mentions Miles has relatives that he has never met with secrets that could turn his world upside down. So I guess maybe we'll get some important relatives of Miles Morales in here, especially if they have information that could turn his life upside down. But that could also just be some really bad speculation. These characters could mean nothing to him in the long term of thing. But guys, that's what we got to do when we speculate. Now guys, next up is definitely a book that you need to do your own research on. I'm putting this on the list because I think it's a gorgeous cover, but there could be some possible first appearance on the cover. But I do not have my copy of Namor issue number 1 yet because it came out on Wednesday and my books won't arrive until Tuesday. But guys, this is Namor issue number 2. My question to you guys: who is this girl on the cover? Now in issue number 1, we were getting the first appearance of 7 new kings. Is this one of the kings on the cover? Because if it is, this would be their first cover appearance on this cover right here. And this is a really, really great cover. Now guys, 3 more books. Next up is Spider-Woman issue number 10 with the possible introduction of a new Champions roster. And guys, after that is Ultimate Spider-Man issue number 8 with the first appearance of Kingpin's Sinister Six in the Ultimate Universe. And the next book is Ultimate Spider-Man issue number 8. Now this is the first cover appearance of Kingpin's Sinister Six in the Ultimate Universe. Alright guys, those are all the books that had something in the guts. I'm going to come back to you guys with my spec picks of the week. Alright guys, this is a huge week for Final Order Cutoff because we just went over so many books, especially if you include all those crazy second print 1 in 25 versions. So I'm not going to say save your money because there's definitely some covers in there that I think are going to do well on the secondary market. So let's go ahead and start going over all these books one more time. Now the first book that I think is a good bet is Phoenix issue number 2, the 1 in 50 Virgin ratio variant done by Derek Chu. High ratio, great character, Virgin, great artist. I think if you take all that into consideration, I think this is a good buy. Now, long term, I think Predator vs. Black Panther issue number 1, the Scotty Young variant, is also another great buy. Now, another one is Red Sonja Empire Damned issue number 5, the cover E Virgin done by Josh Middleton. I think this cover is definitely going to do well in the future. Not out of the gate. I don't think this is going to sell super well out of the gate, but in the future, because I don't think a lot of people will be ordering tons of copies of this book. So I think this could be a little bit of a ghost like 10, 15 years from now. So I think this would be a great buy to add to your collection. Now we got to start going over all the 1 in 25s of either the facsimiles or the second prints because a lot of these do well on the secondary market. So I'm going to say make sure you guys are doing your own research before you're truly speculating on these books, but keep these books on your radar. First one up is The Amazing Spider-Man 259, the facsimile 1 in 25 done by Sam De La Rosa. I don't like that cover, but that does not mean this book might not sell well on the secondary market. After that is Marvel Super Heroes Secret Wars issue number 9, the facsimile 1 in 25 ratio variant done by Phil Noto. And after that we have Amazing Spider-Man Annual issue number 1, the second print 1 in 25 Virgin ratio variant done by Mike McCone. Again, I personally don't like this cover, but that does not mean this book will not sell well on the secondary market. After that is Kid Venom issue number 1, the second print 1 in 25 Virgin done by Gerardo Sandoval. And after that is Spider-Man Reign Volume 2 issue 1, the 1 in 25 second print ratio or Virgin ratio variant done by Lyrics Lee. There is a first appearance in this, so this has a little something more. So it's a Virgin 1 in 25 with something in the guts, which is pretty cool. And after that, I think it's probably one of the best 1 in 25 second prints I've seen, which is Star Wars Ahsoka issue number 1 with the second print 1 in 25 Virgin TV variant. This is so good, and I highly think this book is going to sell well on the secondary market, but I could be wrong. Do your own research. Let's continue going down this list. After that, we have Star Wars Inquisitors issue number 1, the second print 1 in 25 Virgin done by Alex Maleev. There's also the Ultimates issue number 2, second print 1 in 25 Virgin ratio variant done by In-Huk Lee. And I really think those are all the books that could do well on the secondary market. I don't think any of the regular second prints are going to do well. And the books that have something in the guts, I personally don't like any of them. But guys, let me know down in the comments below if you disagree with me and you think one of these books with something in the guts is a good book to speculate on. All right, guys. That is everything for this weekend's Final Order Cutoff for speculation. Let's cover the 2 books that are my Final Order Cutoff recommendations to read. Alright guys, there are 2 new #1s on this weekend's final order cutoff that you should be letting your local LCS know that you want these books. And if you don't have a local LCS and you haven't pre-ordered these books already, make sure you guys are going online and pre-ordering these books, because I think these stories are gonna be incredible. And the first one up is DC vs. Vampires World War V, issue #1. Now this is coming from the writer of Matthew Rosenberg and has art by Otto Schmidt. Now guys, if you did not read volume 1 of this series, go and do yourself a favor and pick that up in trade. It was a 12-issue maxi series that was incredible. 11 issues of that series was so good. I hated the final issue. Issue number 12, I did not like where they ended it, and I thought that was going to be at the end of the whole series, but they're coming back for another volume, and I think they're going to be able to save themselves, because this was the same creative team that started that run, so they're going to continue it, and I am so excited, so excited. And this book is going to feature Damian Wayne, who is a vampire himself, going up against Barbara Gordon, who is the queen, the vampire queen, and they're going to battle it out, and I cannot wait to see. And Green Arrow was like the hero of that book. It was so good. I cannot wait. I cannot wait for this to come back, and Otto Schmidt's artwork is so good. Now, the other book that I think you guys should make sure you guys get your hands on is Duck and Cover issue #1. Now, this is coming from the writer of Scott Snyder, has art by Raphael Albuquerque, and the synopsis for this book is super short, so I'm going to go ahead and read it to you guys. A manga-influenced teen adventure set in the strange post-apocalyptic America of 1955. From the seminal Vertigo series American Vampire comes Duck and Cover. Now, I'm picking this up because it's Scott Snyder and Raphael Albuquerque. Hands down, anything with Scott Snyder on the cover and Raphael Albuquerque as the artist, picking it up. It's easy peasy. And post-apocalyptic 1955 America, again, I am all in. Alright guys, those are the 2 books that I think you should consider picking up for the story itself on this weekend's final order cutoff. Now, I did find some amazing covers that are coming out on next week's new comic book day that I think will sell well on the secondary market, so let's go ahead and cover those now. Alright guys, I found 8 covers that I think could sell well on the secondary market that are coming out on next week's new comic book day, which is July 24th of 2024. So let's go ahead and go over these covers. And first up is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles issue #1, the 1 in 500 ratio variant done by Sean Murphy. Now, I originally thought this book was going to be ultra rare, but I don't think it's going to be, because I think the total orders for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles issue #1 is over 300,000, so I think there's going to be a good amount of these available, but it's still a 1 in 500. If you divide 300,000, I can't do it off the top of my head, I'll put the number up on screen, about that many copies of this book are going to be out there, so it's not going to be super rare, but it's still going to be rare, and I think this is one of the best covers for this first issue of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, written by Jason Aaron. So I would keep an eye on this book, and if you can get your hands on it, I think this is one of the best covers to have for this book. Now guys, next up is Harley Quinn issue #42 with the cover C done by Ben Harvey. I think this is fantastic. I truly do. This book might not do well. Do your own research. Go with your gut. But I think this one in the future could sell well. Now guys, next up is Zatanna Bring Down the House issue #2 with the cover D, which is the 1 in 25 virgin ratio variant done by Jenny Frison. I don't love this myself, but I still like it a lot. It's a virgin, Frisian. I think this is going to do well on the secondary market, especially because this is Zatanna. Alright guys, next up is NYX issue #1, the 1 in 100 virgin ratio variant done by Artgerm. I do not love this cover. I think her neck is too long, her head is too small. There's a bunch of things wrong with this in my opinion, but this book is already selling well on eBay. Already. So I think this book is going to heat up even more when it comes out on next week's new comic book day. Alright guys, next up is Universal Monsters Creature from the Black Lagoon Lives issue #4 with the cover B and the 1 in 25 black and white ratio variant done by Jenny Frison. I think this cover is gorgeous. It's a Frison. Do I need to say more? Alright guys, next up is Hello Darkness issue #1 with the cover A done by Paulo Rivera. This cover is just gorgeous in my opinion. It's a new horror anthology, and there's also a backup Something is Killing the Children story done by Werther Dell'Edera and James Tynion IV. So that's something a little bit more in this book that's going to draw people to this book, and this cover is just so good in my opinion. Now after that is Hello Darkness issue #1 with the cover B done by Jenny Frison. Again, it's Frison, it's really, really creepy, but the next one I think is probably the best, in my opinion. Guys, do your own research. Hello Darkness issue #1 with the cover E Virgin done by Jeff DeCall. With this being a DeCall, a Virgin, and for this like horror series, I think this is a great bet, but Do your own research. Maybe I'm insane. I know some other YouTubers that I've already seen don't like this cover, but I think this cover is fantastic. It's super duper creepy. All right, guys, that is it for today's video. So let's go ahead and wrap this video up. All right, guys, we are at the end of today's video, and if you guys are still watching, you watch from the very first frame all the way to right now, I just gotta say, you guys are legends. Now, even if you skipped over my 3 reminders, I still gotta say, you guys are legends. All right, guys, thank you guys so much for watching today's video. Now, if you guys watched that video and you guys enjoy comic book content, but you guys are not subscribed, I just gotta say, what are you doing? Get yourself subscribed, hit that bell for notifications, and smash that like button. All right, guys, we did it. 3 videos this week. I'm back, baby. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed your week. I hope you had a great new comic book day. I hope you guys enjoyed the preview highlights video. There were some really great covers on that one. And then this Final Order Cutoff video. All right, guys, that is it for this week. Have a great weekend. Have a great Final Order Cutoff, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.